And we're back on. All right. So we're talking about music. How many instruments are you comfortable with playing? Do you have that you play piano, or you play anything that's a little more unusual? Or
No, I mean I can play some songs on the piano, but I can't read music on the piano or anything like that. And but mainly I've only played the guitar. I love playing a ukulele. That's pretty fun to do in the summer. But yeah, that's about it.
Well, listen, we've got a request. We've got a couple of people here that are really music fans. We've got somebody that plays a guitar and harmonica, and we've got some good beatboxers here. So sometime, maybe like on a Friday, if you got a spare hour between testing, come down with your musical instrument, and we'll have our kids do the same thing and maybe get together a little musical jam.
That'd be great.
Cool.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
That'd be
No
really
question.
good.
No question. Yeah.
All right. Well, great.
Who inspires you outside your family?
Well, that's a good question.
Yeah, that is a good question. I had a guy that was a teacher when I was in school. He was one of my teachers, and he was a very hard-nosed guy. I got out of school, and later I came back and worked and met him as an adult, and we became very close. He was a lot older than me and stuff like that, and he was super helpful to me. We just had a really good friendship and stuff, and I'm still close with him now, and he's up in his mid-70s and stuff, but he's had a huge impact on me, on the way that I've done things and what I've learned and stuff. He's just a very, very wise guy, and so I feel like that he's played a big role. I can't tell you the number of times, even though we obviously aren't as close as we don't get to see each other as regularly as 20 years ago, but I still have run into situations, and I'll call him up and I'll talk to him, and I think he's molded the way professionally I've done a lot, even personally the way that I've done things and stuff. He's had a big impact on me.
That's pretty good. Keyshawn, who inspires you? Just out of curiosity.
Who inspires me?
Yes,
people around me. When I see people doing positive things and helping out one another, and just people being successful gives me inspiration. It inspires me a lot. What about you, Judah? Who inspires you?
I'm gonna say my dad, because I don't know, he's just like tough dude, and he teaches a lot of people about stuff. He can educate people.
A lot of obstacles, yeah. He inspires me too. When he came in and taught that class, I had a profound respect for your dad. Yeah.
Who inspires you?
Well, I've got a couple of people. There's a guy named Derek Jensen, who's like one of the leading environmentalists in the United States, and I've been fortunate enough. He's written 5 or 6 big books, and I was fortunate enough this last year to be able to talk to him for a little bit, and he's kind of on the leading forefront of a lot of the environmental stuff, and so I really look up to him. I really like Bernie. Bernie kind of inspires me. But
Feel the burn.
Yeah, the burn. Feel the burn, yeah. So I've got a couple people. And really, not to be too sappy, but some of you all inspire me. Some of my students that every day have to come in and, have to overcome obstacles that are tough, and you come in every day and, work hard and have a good attitude and break through a lot of things. That, like you, Keyshawn, that inspires me. Sometimes it's just the people around me. So anyway, yeah.
I think my parents they're like that for me too. It's funny. I think people just assume because I have 2 master's degrees, a bachelor's degree. I'm over instruction for a district. They just assume that I come from a very highly educated household, which could not be further from the truth. My father dropped out of school at 16.
Wow.
By 17 years old, he was in the military. He was in Germany serving, and my mother attended 11 or 12 high schools. Their family moved all over the country. They faced incredible odds to try to, put a family together and fight through those obstacles.
Tough.
I mean, they had very, very difficult obstacles, and my dad got his GED when he was in the military, and so, like I said, I think people just automatically assume that that
you went to Yale.
You had a lot of privileges and stuff like that, and and we didn't do that. But my parents were, they were very driven and they were very positive, and they all were always encouraging and stuff like that. And so they had a big impact on me. There's no question. Still do.
All right. Got anything else? Any other questions that you want to ask?
Would you like to talk about some of your top successes you experienced in your career?
Yeah, that's I can tell you that.
Hard to put them in order, probably.
Yeah, I can tell you in the business education, you have none on your own. That doesn't happen. I feel like I've worked hard and tried my best to do my best, and I've heard people say really nice things about me and the things that I've done, and that's all well and good. But I've been fortunate to be a part of some really good teams. I've been on schools that were really academically high achieving, and they I was principal of school where we were a school of distinction for several years in a row, which puts you amongst the top in the state, the very top in the state. I was way back when I was a KEXAC Teacher of the Year one year.
Ah, really?
Yeah,
We missed that.
Yeah, that was way back then. And so those things have always been just getting through school like this. It doesn't matter even at my age. I'm 100 years old. Getting through school this last time was it was as difficult as it was when I was 21, 22 trying to get through college. I mean, I can't tell you what last summer was like. I was starting a new job. I was trying to finish a degree in school and juggling, paying for that stuff, going to all those classes, finding those books, doing these assignments, doing them the right way, and then starting a new job that's an important job. Last summer was an absolute blur.
Gosh.
And I don't remember. It was just as difficult as when I was trying to fight and scratch and claw my way through, getting my bachelor degree, working 2 jobs, commuting to school every day, staying up until 2 or 3 in the morning, trying to do homework assignments. It was just as difficult, And so I never take lightly those accomplishments, and none of you all should. None of those are small things. All those are things that you're proud of, that you, because at the end of the day, you do that stuff on your own. You have to buckle down. You have to get that stuff finished on your own. And so every time you accomplish some of those things, I think it's big.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for that. We've got another segment, if you will play along with us. We have a segment that we call Hot Topics.
All right.
All right. Now, how about that? And,
I like that. I like the sound effects.
Yeah, that's pretty good. So, in this segment, we're going to ask you your take on some current events. Okay?
All right.
And you've got 20 seconds to yay, nay, give us your opinion. We'll kind of discuss it, and then the buzzers are going to tell us it's time to move on. We got to move on to the next one. So, you ready to play?
I'm ready.
Okay. All right. This will be. Hopefully, we'll make this painless. So, this is Hot Topics.
Hot
right?
topics.
Hot Topics. All right. Here we go. Ready for the first one? Timer on. And Mr. McAllister, climate change, real or fake?
Real.
Thank you.
Real. It's beyond imagination to me to think that there's this many people on Earth and it's not impacting something. There's never been this many people here.
Right.
It's impacting something. Now, to what degree and what, I'm not sure, but it's impacting something.
Yes, just look at Australia. All right,
Mr.
good.
McAllister, are you on board with CBD oil?
I don't know. I'm not like for or against. I don't really know much about it. I'm not one of these people that's automatically against stuff like that. So if somebody can prove to me that there's some benefit to it for somebody, then let's hear about it.
Mr. Sullivan uses it for his animals.
Yeah, my dog is on CBD.
yeah,
my
I
wife
have a
believes
friend
it cures everything.
I have
like
a friend
everything.
that does that with their dog. Yeah.
Yeah.
Should we impeach Trump? Yes. Or no?
Okay, here we go.
Again, I would probably say no. And
There you go, Judah.
I
You've got a
don't know
friend.
and I tell you why. I just don't know that that's going to be right or wrong. We need to do things that bring all of us to the table together, and I just don't know that that's going to do it. So,
All right. So your favorite Democratic candidate or one that you really don't like? Do you have a favorite, or do you have somebody you just go, I just can't vote for him or her?
my favorite Democratic candidate, I don't know. I like Joe Biden. He seems like a really good guy. He seems like a guy who'd be cool to hang out with. I don't really know much of the other ones all that well.
Okay.
When there's a pack of 20, it's hard for me to.
Yeah.
Conspiracy theories. Do you believe in them, and what's your favorite one?
Yeah, that's good.
I don't know if I believe him. I sure do love him. I mean, I don't know. I've read many books about JFK. That one is super interesting. There's way more depth to that than what they would just feed us in the regular news line. So,
How about Epstein? Was it a Jeffrey Epstein?
Yeah,
Was
that's too shady. There's
too
no
shady?
way. There's got to
Okay.
be more to that.
all right.
Yeah, same. Favorite or who do you think is gonna win the Super Bowl? 49ers or Chiefs?
The Chiefs. I just think that
Yeah.
Patrick is too
Yeah.
talented, man.
Thank
Really?
you.
What about
Thank
those
you.
49ers defense?
49ers.
Everybody-
Well,
it's
that's why it's going
tough.
to be a great game.
old school
But I just
defense.
until somebody proves that they can beat him,
Thank
I have a
you.
hard time.
Yeah. I've got to bet with my whole class they're all
Yeah.
going to lose.
Yeah.
Okay, listen, you're a musician. Name a musician that you would hang out with all day, dead or alive. Who's the musician you would hang with?
Jimmy Buffett. That guy's got like the best life on earth. The guy's worth $600 million. He's wore shorts and flip flops his whole life.
That's a pretty
he's-
good gig.
He's sailing. He's flying. He'd probably live forever if I hung out with him.
Yeah, good
Vapes
call,
or
bud.
cigarettes? Which one do you feel like is more harmful to the body?
Both. I'm just personally, I think that probably smoking, just because of there's so many chemicals in that and all this kind of stuff. But man, then this last 6 months, 8
been a
months,
tough
it's
news,
scared.
yeah.
You've gotten scared with some of that vaping stuff, and
Right.
so I don't know.
So the day after the Super Bowl will be a national holiday.
Oh, please.
I think it should.
You've got
definitely
some
be a
pull.
I think it should. Nobody should come to work until noon.
Okay. I love that.
I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, no, that's perfect.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Well, Mr. McAllister, we'd
That
like
was-
to thank you
That was
for
a fantastic segment.
Yeah,
right there.
thank you. We'd like to thank our guest today, Mr. McAllister, for coming in. Everybody give him a big hand. All right. All right. Thank you so much for coming
Thank you
in.
for coming.
Yes,
Yeah,
we appreciate
thanks.
you spending some time, especially out of your busy schedule. All right. Be sure to tune into our podcast next week. Future guests include Wes Carter, who's the head of Campbellsville University in Harrodsburg, Julie Wagner, in charge of economic development, and John Lyons, a local businessman who's opening a new business. I'd like to thank Mr. McAllister again, our executive producer, Hasiel Guerra, our soundboard, Eli, fact checker, Raceland, timer and technical effects, Noah, Dakota, and Levi. I'm your host, David Sullivan.
And this is Keyshawn Edwards.
And I'm